Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Joe, and in today's video I'm going to teach you a technique so you can start getting better at English and speaking right now. Here's a technique that I'm going to teach you that you can begin using right away, and it'll help you improve your vocabulary, your grammar, your pronunciation, anything that you work on will start to improve immediately. All right? But you got to do it. All right? Also, if this is your first time here, why don't you think about subscribing to my channel by hitting that button down below and the notification bell. All right? So in order to get better at speaking, what you have to do is you have to use your voice. Now, sometimes this is embarrassing for people because they don't have a lot of experience. And also, they don't want to speak in front of other people. Doesn't matter. You can begin with this method speaking in your room by yourself. You don't need other people. You just need your phone. All right? And what you're going to do is you're going to imitate and adapt native speaking speech. Okay? Let me explain. You take your phone and, for example, you look up a video. Could be my video, could be anybody's video, Tom Cruise video, anything. Listen to a sentence. When somebody says a sentence, then what you're going to do with it is you're going to, well, first of all, imitate it. Try and say it the same way. So, for example, if you're listening to me right now and I said, Joe looks like a famous movie star. All right? So then you try and say the same thing the same way. Joe looks like a famous movie star. You just try it. All right? Then now the technique to improve on that is to say more. You're going to adapt it. Adapt means change. So there's different ways you can change it. You can change the subject. Instead of Joe, me, say, I look like a famous movie star. She looks like a famous movie star. Tom Cruise looks like a famous movie star. Okay? Change the subject around and practice saying those. You got to get your voice used to saying things. Change it and say it. Change and say. All right? Now let's change it different ways. How about you develop the ideas? All right, so first you might have changed the subject. Now we got to develop it. To develop the ideas, it means things like you talk about the past, the future, the results. You got to push yourself, challenge yourself, add more words to that sentence. So remember, we started with Joe looks like a famous movie star. Then you switched it to I look like a famous movie star. Now switch it a little more. Many people say, I look like a famous movie star. Or nobody says, I look like a famous movie star. All right? And in the future, you could say, when you grow up, you will look like a famous movie star. You could say something like that. All right? Or the past. Last week, you dressed up and looked like a famous movie star. All right? Change the tense, change the time period. All right? Or what are some results about that? I look like a famous movie star, so many people ask me for my autograph. I look like a famous movie star, so lots of people want me to go to Hollywood. Right? Change the sentence any way you like. Change it and you practice it. So can you see how this is practicing your voice? Certainly. It's practicing your grammar because you got to switch subject-verb agreement, remember singular, plural, and you're adding more vocabulary all at the same time. And you haven't moved anywhere. You're still in the safe zone of your own room. Nobody's there. Nobody's laughing at you. You're just practicing. Okay? Okay? What else can we do? You can change it by putting in, you can link it to other sentences or add adverbs or adjectives, other details, all right? Joe looks like a famous old movie star. Or how about Joe looks a little like a famous old movie star, all right? Or you can change it to the opposite, of course. Joe doesn't look like a famous movie star. Anything you want. So there's ways you can do that. Think of, it's just your imagination. Whatever you can do to change that sentence, all right? And challenge yourself to change the grammar and then say it. You can write it down if you want to, but maybe that's too much work. Just change it in your mind. Changing it in your mind helps you work on your fluency, right? Makes you go a little faster. Now remember, fluency doesn't mean you speak fast. Fluency means you think fast, right? My voice doesn't change speeds, but I'm able to think of new things right away. I can answer questions. I can change sentences. So remember, we started out with one sentence. Anything you find, any sentence you want to talk about, and then try to change it in many different ways. Change the subject, change the object, change the tense, future, past. Put some results in there. Link it to other clauses or other sentences. Put in adverbs, adjectives, details, all right? Once you start doing it, you can expand to 2 sentences, 3 sentences, 4 sentences. Then you're doing a whole paragraph. Imagine how fluent you will be if you're able to, in your mind, listen to a sentence, listen to a paragraph, and change the whole thing, right? Do you see how this can be great, great practice, all right? And remember, you're still in your room by yourself. Nobody has to see it, but when you do speak to a native speaker or speak to someone, a teacher, or your speaking partner later, your voice and your fluency, your pronunciation will be much better because you've put in how much time for practicing, okay? Same way if we were doing basketball. You can go practice basketball by yourself. If you practice for 10 hours, the next time we're playing together, I'm going to see a big difference. You understand? Okay? So now what I want to show you is the whiteboard. And on the whiteboard, I've written 4 sentences for you to start practicing with. Okay? So I'll show you the whiteboard. I'll read you the sentences so you know how they start, how they sound in the beginning. And then try these techniques to change them, right? Change them any way you like. There's no rules. Change them. Say anything you want to say about them, all right? Let your imagination go free. Okay, here are the 4 sentences that you could start with. Donald tells a lot of lies. That's number 1. Number 2, he doesn't want to wash the dishes. Okay. Number 3, they went to the new Tom Cruise movie last night. And last one, number 4, Joe is friendly, but he smells funny. Okay? So it doesn't matter what sentence you use. These are just 4 random sentences that you could start with. Say them, try and sound the same way I sound, then add some words, change things, okay? And then once you get the handle of it, you can do this with any sentence, right? You know you're connected to the internet. You can find lots of English on the internet. Any sentence, any couple of sentences, any paragraph, any speech is an opportunity for you to play with it and get better at it, adapt it, imitate it, and improve your English, okay? And this is the end of our lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions about this method and how it works, write them down in the comments below and I'll write back to you. Also, I want to encourage you to check in the notes underneath this video. There's lots of links in there to more learning opportunities. I put in other videos that I think are helpful, like my best videos. I put in links to online courses that you might take or books that you might want to read. All right? Everything like that is in the notes. Also, if you're not too tired yet and you want to watch another video, you can check out these ones.